present for the oil producing community is too low.
So the support that is needed, and once you get the support, your airline people will blossom.
This is Nigeria. You need to give people sense of belonging.
It is yet another beautiful day in the city of Abuja, and I'd like to welcome you to Inside Nigeria, coming to you live from Leadership Podcast Studio. My name is Tion Joseph, and as usual, I'll be reading to you major stories from 5 different Nigerian newspapers. And by the rule of thumb, I'd like to start with Nigeria's most influential newspaper, which is the Leadership newspaper. Let's get to it. Now on Leadership this morning, the major story says PDP crisis. IU is going nowhere, Atiku's camp insists. You can find an interesting story on page 4 of the Leadership newspaper. Let's look at the bullets down there real quick before we proceed. The first bullet says national chairman's removal will cause constitutional crisis in the party, says Melaye. The next point there says Rivers people will decide who to support. That is coming from Wike. And then the very last bullet for Leadership this morning says SAP must produce PMB's successor, says Omo Agege Keyamo. That is all we have for Leadership this morning. We crave your indulgence to log on to our website www.leadership.ng to find these stories and even much more. So moving on to the next paper for the day, we have The Guardian in the house. And The Guardian newspaper is saying Wike accuses Atiku Okowa Ayu of sharing positions ahead 2023. The first bullet there we'll be looking at says vows to fight on as PDP holds crucial NEC meeting shaky. Governors Board of Trustees divided. Next bullet says 2023 legacies, competencies, says Ikwazu. Next one says move on, we cannot political deity, PDP told. APC backs Tinubu over visit to Jonathan. The second to the last bullet says I talk less, do more, Tinubu replies PDP. Very last bullet for Guardian this morning says propaganda will take no presidential candidate anywhere, says Agun Loyem. Thank you. That is all we have for The Guardian. Let's move briskly to the next Nigerian daily this morning, and that will be THISDAY. And on THISDAY newspaper this morning, the major story says you have till December to crush all terrorists, bandits, Buhari orders armed forces. That is what a second read. You have till December to crush all terrorists, bandits, Buhari orders armed forces. We have 2 bullets there to look at quickly. The first one says FG says security situation has improved nationwide. Very last bullet for this day this morning says intelligence agencies, others vow to contain terror financing. That is all we have for this day this morning. Let's move briskly to the next Nigerian daily, which is the Punch. And on Punch this morning, major story says Muslim ticket, no agreement with Tinubu, can insist, talks tough. You can find our story on pages 2, 8, and 13. The bullet there says donation to Kuka Center, not bribe to pacify Christians, says Khan. Khan conscience not for sale. Prophetic voice cannot be silenced, says Christian body. The first second to the last bullet says PDP jittery over Tinubu's visit to Jonathan, APC. Last bullet for the Punch says Onanuga promises issue-based campaigns. Thank you. That is all we have for the Punch. Let's move straight to the next Nigerian daily, and that will be the last Nigerian daily for this day. And it says Nigerian News Direct. That is the paper. On Nigerian News Direct this morning, the major story says APC, PDP battle over Tinubu's visit to Jonathan. And you can see that story on page 2. Moving down to the bullets, first one says as parties contend over performance profile, opposition rattled in panic, APC. Very last bullet for today says we will focus on issues, not trading personal insults, campaign consume. Thank you for joining us. This show is a daily show, so we crave your indulgence to join us again tomorrow by 10 a.m. for more stories. Once again, my name is Tion Joseph. Do have a great day.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.